Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I haven't done one in a while, but with a new update coming out soon, I haven't have a date yet for it, but relatively soon. One of the new systems in there is going to be the new playoff system, which many of you have requested, and I wanted to walk you through what that system looks like and to kind of show you how it works and how flexible it can be. So let's get started. It works with custom projects, it works with historical replay projects, and it works with board game companion projects. All work in this way. They all work a little bit differently, but kind of the same. Let's go. So let's just do a custom project. We'll do one of the Legends of Bust sets that I've been working with. So we can just do that for there. We'll use the designated hitter. We'll just use the O1. And we're going to select all the teams from this, include all the ballparks. There's no drafting involved here. We're just going to take the teams that come with the set. And I'm going to go to the next. We'll set up a league structure. Just kind of put in the league. And then here we'll add a couple divisions. Sorry for the clicking of the keyboard. Typing around my microphone, so if that looks weird, I apologize. But we'll get the North and the South, just all in a couple divisions, and we'll go to the next. And just for fun, we'll just auto distribute them among all the teams, so we got them all ready to go and can create. So at this point, what you currently have, you'd hit create project, and we'll create a project, and you're off and running. In this particular case, we have a new button called the postseason format. And if you click on that, it'll open up a way to be able to customize your playoff. So here you can pick, like in this particular case, it'll take the default for this particular number of teams and everything else involved. Say we wanted to have the winner from each division automatically come in, and then you want to have a couple wild cards. This is kind of a preview of what that would look like in your current structure. So in this case, you have a semifinals, championship round, and you can determine, you can give these, name them whatever you want to name them. You can determine if it's a one-game series, a best of 3, a best of 5, all the way up to best of 9. You can do, if we want to split it between parks, I think it does like 2-3-2 if it's 7 and things like that, 2-2-1 for 5, I think. Or you just want to have alternating back and forth, or, if you do a best of 3, you can set it up to have, the higher seed gets the home field advantage, or the 1, things like that. If you wanted to include, say, 3 or 4 wildcard teams, you can see immediately how this structures, and now you have a quarterfinal system, and you can see how that goes through there. In this particular case, since it's 13 teams, and I kind of like to mix things up a little bit. You can have a quarterfinal round for the first round. The overall winner gets, with the best record gets the number 1 seed, and then you can kind of go out there this way. So we'll just do that. We'll just say the top 5 of the 13 get to go in. You can save that format, and then you can come down here. It's got a little check box next to it, and you can hit create project. Okay, so now we have our project, and we need to go through and open up the scheduler to build some games into it. And let's just do a 3-game series, keep everything at the location. One little tip on the scheduler, if you haven't been in here too much, to get to even balance, home and away, this 36 from the quote, I like to do, match it with the number of games per team, and that usually comes out to be even home and away. If you auto-generate, so in this case, everybody's 18 home, 18 away, and it's that simple. But let's see, finalize that schedule, and we're good. So now we have our league structure, and we have the games, and we're ready to do it. You always can access the playoff from the playoff format button here in your project. It's project specific. So here you go is what we saved. It's all right here, and we're good. Now let's just sim a day's worth of games, because right now it doesn't really show you what the race is. So we'll do that. We'll sim the current day, and we'll do that there really quickly. Okay, good. So now we have a day's worth of standings and stuff. So now we can go over here. You can see there's an extra drop down for what's the playoff race. So here it's actually going to tell you how the race is going at the moment, who can advance, what the how many people are back, et cetera, et cetera. So you can always kind of gauge how far you are in and out of the playoffs. When a team gets eliminated from the playoffs, they actually will have an E next to them here. So next to them here, and they're eliminated. So if we go ahead and let's just sim a week of games. Hopefully this won't take very long. Now, just pretty quickly here. So now what it'll do is we'll play a week of games, and then we can see as it progresses through. So that will be probably 1/4 of the season, and we can kind of get a glimpse at exactly like who's in the playoff hunt, how many games back you are, and et cetera, et cetera. Which I think is kind of cool and kind of interesting to see how the progression of the playoffs go. So we'll go a couple more games here. And okay, good. So now we go back here into the standings, and we can see the playoff race after a week of play is like this. So, and so we got a kind of interesting race going on here. If you want to look at the playoff format again, this actually will put people in there as it is at the moment. So this is kind of a live preview. So at the current moment, Team Recent, which is undefeated, is the #1 seed, and 1920s team is the team that's right on the bubble here. But actually, it looks like it's a pretty dominant league going so far, which is kind of interesting. But it'll go forward and it'll change, and as you can go forward. Now, one thing cool is you're not locked into the playoff format. You can change this. So say if we wanted to add another wildcard team, you could do that and save the format and go right back. And because you can see now the 1980s National League team is in the playoffs technically. So up until at the end of the season, you can actually change the format around. So you're not locked in to it at all. If you ever wonder what your rules are specific for the season, you can click on the rules, and it'll tell you exactly 2 division winners for wild card, 6 teams, blah, blah, blah. Here's the split of the home fields. Ties go to a head-to-head. And then I think the second tiebreaker is the run scored differential, I believe it is. So this will change dynamically. You saw it's 5, now it's 6. If we go back to change this to 5, no, sorry. Yeah, there we go. 3 wild cards, and and then you can go in and look at the rules. It would be, see how it's changed to be 5 teams all. So that's kind of how it works with the playoff system there. Once you get to the end of the playoffs, there will be, I won't take your time and just sim the whole thing, but there'll be a button at the top where you can advance into the playoffs automatically, and it's pretty obvious. Then once you get started there, it'll kick in automatically to the playoffs. Now, one thing to note is that the playoffs statistics are totally separate from the regular season. So if you go in and I probably should have done this because this is actually kind of interesting. I didn't think about this ahead of time. But yeah, I can't sim all those days. Yeah, that would take a while, I think. Yeah, I won't do that in this video, but oops, I guess we are. It will only take a few minutes, and I think it's worth showing you. But so the statistics are actually separate, and then actually when you go look at them in the box scores, excuse me, yeah, well, actually box score 2, when you hover over the names and when you're in game, it'll actually have a line for the regular season, the real stats, and then also the playoff stats. So when we have an encyclopedia session, feature built in later on and things, it'll completely be split up each person and, where they, not only the regular season, but their playoff performance. So that's kind of neat. And then also when it gets to the playoffs, I think you'll see in the leaderboards also have that split out. So, and again, as I pointed out earlier, this exact system works for historical replays as well. The difference being historical replays is as you play through the season, the format, I believe the format's fixed. I'll have to check that. I haven't actually looked at it in a while, but I think it's fixed. And then also, um, there's another way to play it if you wanted to just play a World Series or if you want to just play the playoffs. I'll show you that in a moment as well. It kind of sets it up a little bit differently. So you can bypass the whole regular season and just do the playoffs if you want to, which is a way that I've been doing, kind of testing it. And even with Board Game Companion, just setting up like the 2025 season's playoff format. I can just replay that, with like Strat or some other game, or even with Payoff Pitch, and you actually have that same format going through with all the real players, all the real teams that started that format. And in the first round, there actually you have the as played lineups as well. So, okay, just a few more games, and we can take a look at this here as we're going forward. This progression, a lot of big scores. Legend Bus Set does have a lot of big scores, as I found out in our Game Pulse League. And if you want to join that for coming seasons, please look at that on the Discord. I would love to have you join that. Little plug there. Okay, so at the end we have the standings, and so it looks like the 1920s actually came up and won. Team Recent didn't do so well going forward. So now if you look at the playoff race, you can see this is actually the format. These are the this is the best record, second best record. These are the top two that got in from that regard. As you can see, they clinched. Actually, this clinched. It probably should be updated at the end there. But oh, actually, I wonder if we have a 1 day. Okay, that's why. I haven't actually tested it this far. Excuse me. But the 1960s team looks like they did get into it. Okay, so the playoff format, let me see if you can change it at this point. Yes, you actually can. So right up to the moment. Okay, cool. So right up to the moment that you actually click on playoffs already. So you can see how it's very obvious. So when you're ready to move your season into the playoff mode, there's a button here, it's yellowed and everything else. And so once you click this, then you're locked in. Then everything's locked in the way it goes. So if we're happy with the format, which I guess we are in this particular case, we can save the format. Everything's ready to go there. Cool. All right. Playoffs are ready, and let's see. Yep. Okay. Oh, playoffs are there. Then you click Start Playoffs, and it's going to give you one big warning explaining to you what the format is, who's going to be in it, what's going to happen, et cetera, just so if you have want to back out of it, this is why you do it there. But we're going to say okay, and there you go. Now we're started into the playoffs, and we can go off from there. So let's just play one playoff. So it'll create the games for you automatically. So it automatically does all the games for you. Go to current day. Well, it's supposed to. That's interesting. So let's go back here. And well, I'll have to look at that one, I guess. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, that one's a bit different. I'll have to keep going, but it will oh, wait a minute. Yeah, so let's just hold on. Okay, yeah, okay. I apologize to put it on day 46, which kind of confused me a little bit. But yeah, so here are all the playoff games. That was correct. And if we go to the playoffs, there you go. It actually played a couple for the day. So I'll have to look at that. That's a little bit interesting. That could be a little bit, but this is still release candidate 5, still beta. So we're still working on some of these things. So I'm actually glad I'm testing these. But let's go to these games and we can view some of these box scores. And if you hover over, obviously that's all the same. But let me let's go into a specific game. Let's go, and I want to try something real quick. Because, yeah, okay. So if you notice when you hover over the players now, it'll show you their postseason records, as you can see right there. No, Pappas hasn't, but here's Chipper Jones. He is, in the replay, he had a 342 batting average. In the postseason, he's 154. And I think if you go to like his records here, yeah. So here you can see also this is his replay year. He had a great record in the replay, but postseason has been a bit rough. If you go to stats over here, you can see this is what his card is. It shows card because it's a Legends and Bust set. So there's no historical data to pull from like an historical season. But here's his postseason record. Well, exactly what he's doing in here. Here it shows you all of his postseason games that he's played up to this point, and then that looks like it's combined for both. It is combined for both. So anyway, that's kind of how you can look at it. Little polish still needs there. As we're going through, this is actually John Spohn's first start there. Okay, but anyway, that's kind of how that works. Okay, so we can see that there. So, and as it goes through, and it'll just keep going through. Let's do one other thing really quick, since I got you here. Let's do a historical replay project, and let's just do like the 2025 playoffs. Okay, and in this case, we'll go to 2025. And we're going to go down here and select the postseason. So you have a few options here. You can play the postseason let's say, if you want to go to doing a complete season replay from, game day one, you'd say play the postseason my schedule produces. So whatever results were at the end of that replay, it would just take it and migrate it forward. But what I want to do is I want to play the real postseason that happened in 2025 and see how that worked out by playing exactly the same way. Since the Red Sox lost to the Yankees, I would kind of like to redo this, and maybe the Red Sox would win. Right. So we'll see. So if I don't create a project like this, it actually bypasses the whole season and just brings you right up to date to where the playoffs are. So in this particular case, as you can see for this season, it is actually for each one of those particular brackets that went off. The games themselves are the exact games that are scheduled. And what's interesting is when it can, if things match up, it will use the as-played lineups. In this case, the first round, all the teams will have the as-played lineups. Of course, as the playoffs progress, and let's say Boston wins and gets to the next round, there's no historical as-played lineups. You'll have to do your own for that. But if the game existed in real life, then it will get the as-played lineups. But so that you're guaranteed it for the first round. So that's kind of how that works. And you can play out every one. This actually, you can do this for any of the seasons. One of the interesting things and fun things to do in my research was the rule sets were actually applied to every season. Of course, every season set that we have in Payoff Pitch and for Game Pulse. But also, if you do, let's see, let's do a new project. This is a little bit, I haven't tried this in a while, so hopefully this will work. Let's just do like the 2004. So, let's do 2004 postseason. Again, I'm typing around my mic here. So in this case, let's go up to 2004. And we want to do the real postseason for this. Of course, this is not a Payoff Pitch set at all. So we're going to do a board game companion for this. We're going to create it. So here you see it's set exactly the playoffs for that 2004 with the rules for that year. The rules will apply. I went back and did all the research for every season that's like from 1800 or up to that it starts up to. So for Board Game Companion, you can play the playoffs for any year that you might have, and it will actually apply the rules for the playoffs for that particular year. And so if you didn't want to do that, of course, there's more of a custom way coming with Board Game Companion, as many of you requested. That won't be in this version coming, but that is on my plate. But if you wanted to go back and replay the playoffs for any particular season in Board Game Companion, it will pull in the exact rules for that year. So in this case, the wildcard area just started in a little bit different setup. This was the actual playoffs for that year. If, for example, also that I wanted to do, we can go back to let's go back to Have Fun in 1908, which, this is going to be just two teams, but Oh, project name. Postseason. Sorry. Okay. And create that. And as you can see, it was the Tigers and Cubs that year. And the rules are basically this, the same thing. And it does the home 1-1-2-4. That's interesting for that year. So, and it even gives you a little tip about it. And, the 2-3-2 pattern didn't arrive till 1924. And you can see all the games are set up, ready to go, with the as-played lineups, and boom, and you're off and running, just like that for the board game companion. So that's kind of how that works, and I think that's really all that I need to show for the postseason now. Just that, anyway, it was quite an endeavor to do it. I really liked the way it came out. It came out really well. A little polish still there, as you saw when I was kind of going through that there, but I think it's something that everybody will enjoy. I know I enjoy it. I picked up the Stratomatic 2025 box when I was in the U.S. at Barnes & Noble, I think, and so I have that on the shelf here, and I kind of wanted to replay the playoffs for 2025 just for fun, and so I can do that now with this and the board game companion and things like that. So. But anyway, we'll see what it's like when it lands again. Probably another week or so. I'm hoping to get this version out that will have this, along with a slew of other things. This update is turning out to be quite large, maybe even larger than the last one. But it's got a lot of really cool stuff in it that I think you'll enjoy. So I appreciate your patience on that one. Waiting for a couple weeks now. I think 3 weeks since the last big update. So. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I hope you have a great day, and thanks for sticking with me on this video. And I'll see you in the next one. I hope you have a good day. Bye.